Here we go. Here we go, yo. One time for your mind. You know we ball all day. Yeah. Just know we talk ball all day. Welcome to the full court press. Full court press. We got Danny Thompson on the mic, so just chill with the set. You know we ball all day. Yeah. Just know we talk ball all day. Welcome to the full court press. Full court press. We got Danny Thompson on the mic, so just chill with the set.
We are back for hour number 2 of Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC on the new 96.9 The Game, Orlando sports leader. I'm your host, Danny Thompson, hanging out with Paul Myers and Mark Johnson of NBAFCPRadio.com. And in studio with us right now is one of our good friends from Basketball Insiders, talking everything Pacific Division, our good friend Cody Taylor. Cody, how you doing, my friend?
Cody. I'm good, man. Appreciate you guys having me on.
You know, Cody's are now our second live in-studio guest with us. So, you know, we're going to treat him we'll treat him nice. 407-916-8255 is the local number here in Orlando, or toll-free 800-729-8255. So for the next half an hour plus, we're talking everything with the Pacific Division. So kind of the same thing we did the last half hour with Tam Richardson. We're all going to take one team, and then we'll just rotate the other team. Cody has the Fighting Kobe Bryants of the Los Angeles Lakers. Paul will take care of the L.A. Clippers.
Fighting Robert Socrates, you mean?
I was thinking more of the punching, the punching Roy Hibberts.
More like an open hand slap.
Mark will take care of the defending champion Golden State Warriors. I will take the Phoenix Suns, and the four of us will rotate the DeMarcus Cousins-led Sacramento Kings. So we're going to start off at the top with the. You know, when you're watching NBA League Pass, Cody, you have the L.A. Lakers. Who are you watching?
I mean, of course, with the Lakers, you're talking about Kobe Bryant. You're tuning in to see Kobe if, how long he's going to play, if he's going to come out and drop 40 again, or just, in that first couple of weeks back just to see how he returns. And then, eventually, can he play all season long? I think that has to be definitely something you're tuning into. But above that, D'Angelo Russell, the rookie coming in as a point guard, the lights are bright in L.A., leading that Lakers team. So it's going to be interesting to see his rookie season this year. We saw him in Summer League. And you take Summer League with a grain of salt, but he didn't look great. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how long it takes for Jordan Clarkson to take over the starting position, because I think that's what's going to end up happening.
I would love to see if Kobe plays a small forward.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I think if Clarkson takes over, they're going to end up moving Russell to the 2, Kobe to the 3, and that is where I think the Lakers will have their strongest lineup.
So, Mark, you got the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Who are you watching on the team this year?
Man, it's almost who you don't watch. But I would say like this. I think for me, I'm going to watch Draymond Green. He got the big money contract. He played well. Sometimes, it's a regression sometimes, when you get the big money. Let's see what he does with the contract behind him. Will he go out and put up better numbers, or will his numbers slide back a bit? Let's watch for that.
Okay. Yeah. Paul?
Yes, that works. Are we talking about Warriors? You want me to comment on the Warriors, or are we talking about the Clippers?
Let's go Clippers.
I'm watching how this thing unfolds, or I guess continues, because you had a lot of drama this summer with the roster, with DeAndre Jordan saying Chris Paul was too mean to him. He hurt his poor feelings. I just want to see how the chemistry works. Now, I have a lot of faith in Doc. I think Doc's an excellent coach and a really, really, really good ego manager. We saw that in Boston with Rajon Rondo, who has been completely awful since. But I think it'll go well, but I am kind of worried about everything after that whole thing played out.
Well, since I have the Phoenix Suns, the guy I'm watching is Markieff Morris. I want to see how the situation turns out. Mm-hmm. I don't think Morris lasts until the All-Star game. I think him and Hornacek and the organization, it's the point of no return. The only question for this team is that what are they going to get back in return? There have been rumors of Morris to Charlotte for Cody Zeller. There have been rumors of Morris to other teams. It would like to be interesting to see what the Suns would get back in return, because if they can pull this off early in the season, they have enough time to get this unit to gel together to make a push at number 8.
I think they would need to get a power forward back, though.
I mean, you're going to get one. You're getting one back.
Definitely need to get one back.
But it's just what you're getting back and how fast you can get rid of the situation. Because if you get rid of it fast enough, you can gel. And they have a good team. They have Bledsoe. They have Brandon Knight. And just remember, any team Tyson Chandler has joined the next season, I think they've made the playoffs, I think, every single time.
Right. Watch T.J. Warren, man. I think this is T.J. Warren's time to go ahead and get out there and get some shine. I think he's going to have a good year.
I think with Morris, though, I think, you want to trade him at some point, but it really seems to me like they've had discussions between he and the team, and at some point I think they're on the understanding that maybe, hey, you come out in the first month or two, you show everyone you can play basketball, you show everyone your head's in the game, then we'll look at trading you. But we're not going to trade you just for the sake of trading you.
Well, yeah, and then his value is awful if he does that. It hurts the team. So I completely see your point there. I think that's probably an understanding they've come to.
I mean, it's never been to the point of the league where twins have to be forced to play together. I've never heard of that.
I don't even really want to start getting my thoughts in on it.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. But my thing is that with Morris, he's like the only back to the basket player for Phoenix. So I don't think even if you deal him, you're not going to really get that in return. Jeff Hornacek is going to have to probably incorporate maybe altering system to the classic back to the basket player and maybe more of a stretch four role. Maybe T.J. Warren can get some minutes in there and be able to erase, at least that part of the system and get some more offensive buckets going.
For me, I like Telelovich. If they move him, Telelovich came over from Brooklyn last year. He was hurt, but he can shoot the basketball. He said Mark said stretch four. He's a good stretch four. Cody, you have the fighting DeMarcus Cousins this round. Who are you watching for in Sacramento?
Start from the top, just how it's all going to come together. What a dramatic summer, I think I've seen everyone describe it as a dumpster fire to some degree, But just to see how Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins, how the whole team comes together, George Karl's pretty much he likes to run a faster tempo, faster offense, and Rondo and even DeMarcus Cousins may not fit their style that great. Just to see how that all comes together, I think that's definitely going to be something just to keep an eye on. And then obviously, Rudy Gay's in there, Ben McLemore, Marco Bellinelli's over there now. So,
all right, yeah. I mean, I guess I can see your point on that. I guess for Sacramento, I mean, we're looking, I guess you're looking at DeMarcus Cousins, really. You want to see if he can come out and be the player that we're all expecting him to be, right? I mean, this guy's got all the talent in the world. I think, in my opinion, he's a top 10 player in the NBA, especially, if you take out some of the head case, issues, he's easily talent-wise top 10. Now, Mark, let's start with Sacramento on that with you. What are their strengths and weaknesses? I mean, we talked about some things to watch for, but what are their strengths and weaknesses?
I think you have to start up front with the strengths, DeMarcus Cousins, and Rudy Gay, bookend, forwards, Caron Butler, with veteran leadership, maybe, to kind of get those guys maybe under some kind of control and, maybe be maybe a bridge between George Karl, and, Cousins and Gay. So I think, you could start there. They actually, have some guys that can score in the paint, besides Cousins, some guys who actually play with their basket. Weaknesses, or at least questionable, you have to look at that shooting guard position. Bellinelli, you kind of know what you're going to get from him. McLemore, he's been up and down since he's been in, more down than up. Yeah. Anderson, also, a guy, kind of like, he was a first-round pick, kind of phased out. The point guard with Rondo, just not sure, what you're going to get from him, even though he's really, really a great player, but you just don't know, is he going to be on the same accord with George Karl and how that relationship's going to work. So I say the strengths, the front court, weaknesses, back court.
The Sacramento Psych Ward. All right. Cody, what you got for the Lakers, strengths and weaknesses?
Strengths for the Lakers. That's tough, man. It was really tough.
The TV contract maybe they get from Time Warner.
I get playing in Los Angeles. Is that a strength? Can I put that?
Yeah, sure. Iggy Azalea.
I guess you'd have to go with the veteran leadership. They got a lot of veteran guys on that team now, but at the same time, I might also consider that maybe sort of a weakness because, with this team that they have now, they're not. I think we all can agree they're not going to really make a whole lot of noise, especially in that Western Conference with this team the way it is. And how is Byron Scott going to play him? Is he going to try to play some of the younger guys? Or what I think might happen is he might side with the veteran guys and play them longer and really kind of go away from this rebuilding effort that they're trying to do. I'm not sure what they're doing over there.
All right. It's the clear cap space to get Kobe off the cap. I think you could rebuild essentially when Kobe is gone. So
The problem, though, is that, this summer, above anything with the free agency, I think that between Los Angeles and New York, I think some of these free agent guys, they passed on going to a nice city in Los Angeles or New York just because that they see where those teams are. Yeah. They're nowhere near competing. We've seen all these other guys go to better situations. So it's next summer there's going to be some big names, but who knows?
I think the weakness is Bus Jr. All right, Danny, who you got for the Suns, or what are the strengths and weaknesses?
For me, I think the biggest strength for Phoenix this year is the fact of their starting backcourt of both combo guards. The fact of Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight are both combo guards. So basically, both guys don't have to have the ball in their hands to be effective. Bledsoe is built like a Russian tank. We've known this guy as a huge, like a mini LeBron. So he can get your 16, 17, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And Brandon Knight's not a bad shooter. Remember, Brandon Knight should have been on the All-Star team last year. Sorry, Kyle Korver. He'll now be known as an All-Star, but Brandon Knight should have been an All-Star because Milwaukee was right there as one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference at the All-Star break. Knight put up good numbers, and when he got traded, I think he's kind of was deflated because you're in a playoff run, and somehow you get moved from a playoff run to a team that really wasn't doing anything with a whole bunch of guards that did the same thing. I think now with both of them being together and being interchangeable, I think that works. What the major weakness is for Phoenix, for me, is the swing position. Now, I know Paul, and you guys have mentioned that T.J. Warren is a guy, P.J. Tucker, but Warren's unproven. They're bringing in Sonny Weems from basically basketball purgatory. Last time we saw Sonny Weems was in a Toronto Raptors jersey. I think the dinosaur was still on the jersey when we saw Sonny Weems last.
I think he was in the Lakers after that. But
exactly. I think he played with Smush Parker. And you're looking at Sonny Weems, P.J. Tucker, and T.J. Warren. None of those three guys scream out, anything. So they're all kind of like blah-type players. So that, I think, to me, if they can find a swing player, like I wish Gerald Green was still on this roster. At least Gerald Green was exciting enough to put points in the bucket. Now, he might shoot 2 for 15 3 times a week, but that one night a week when he's like 10 or 17 is all golden. So I think until they can prove the swing position, I think Phoenix is kind of in that standstill position in the West. But that's how it is.
I think Warren will prove you wrong.
Paul, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the Clippers a little bit. Now, I know I mentioned the thing that I'm looking for with this team is their cohesiveness, and that's the truth. After this weird summer they've had, I still think that's their strength. Doc Rivers ties these guys in. These guys, this is a veteran team. Mm-hmm. They're playoff tested, playoff approved. They added Paul Pierce. They added Josh Smith. They added Lance Stevenson. Their bench is no longer an issue. Where their weakness is, though, is still three-point shooting. I mean, Pierce can shoot.
Really?
I think so. And the reason I say this, Pierce can shoot and Reddick can shoot.
Jamal Crawford, Chris Paul?
No, they're not consistent three-point shooters. Chris Paul's not bad, all right? And Jamal Crawford, when Jamal Crawford is on, you just talked about Gerald Green. Do we really need to get into the inconsistency and question marks of Jamal Crawford? When he's on, he's one of the most unstoppable players in the NBA. You can't guard him. Mm-hmm. When he's not, my 5-year-old can guard him. It's the truth. He's very inconsistent. So for me, it's the lack of consistent three-point shooting that I think is going to be their Achilles heel. But I don't think that's going to stop them. I see this team going to the Western Conference Finals and competing for that spot to represent the West in the finals.
What about the big man? What about the big man situation? They got Jordan and Griffin, but outside of those two, Glenn Davis.
Well, that is a slight question mark, I suppose. But at the end of the day, when you start looking at the bigs out west, who are you? You're worried about San Antonio a little bit. You're worried about Memphis, but if you look behind their big men. What do you really got behind their big men, too? There's not a whole lot of depth in the big men position in the NBA.